the interim, though, let's take you to this. The Western Cape reeling from devastating storms. The Weather Service has now issued another warning. Over a week ago, cold fronts brought heavy rains and damaging winds to the province. The Weather Service is warning of an 80% chance of rain as well as severe thunderstorms for the interior. Cold weather will also be experienced as another cold front made landfall on Sunday. So our eNCA reporter Nobesuthu is standing by, coming to us from Cape Town to give us this live update. Good morning to you, Nobesuthu. I can imagine, of course, those cold weather fronts, a concern for residents wanting to know how long can they expect this severe weather. Good morning.
Morning, Tumelo. Well, it is very cold today in Cape Town, but luckily we are at the offices of the Disaster Management Centre here in the Western Cape. Earlier on, we spoke to residents from Highlands Estate and Philippi. Their area is still flooded, especially the road. We do know that that area is a wetland, but some of the residents also appealing to the province to assist with the disaster management assistance, especially for the area, the roads that are still flooded and with potholes. But we also went to Makasa, where we spoke to some residents who were evacuated about a week ago, and they are back at their houses. They are still trying to do the mop-up operations, but they're still saying that, their houses are still wet. But to get an idea of the situation in the province, because today it's not raining in Cape Town. That alert was issued for Tuesday night over the Cape interior. But I'm joined by Mr. Colin Dana from the Disaster Management in the Western Cape to tell us about, what their team are on standby of and maybe some of the areas of concern.
Okay, yeah. So we got a level 2 impact-based weather warning from the South African Weather Services for Tuesday evening and going into today. Fortunately, although we did get quite a bit of rain up in Clan William, around 35 degrees, and 35 millimeters, and we got a rain down into Ceres and Excelsior around 20 millimeters, and some rain in Lambert's Bay. It was not a continuous, persistent rain, and we had a cut-off flow situation. So although there was quite a lot of rain, we had no significant incidents taking place. There is still a lot of work happening in Berg River and Motsekama as we speak. There's a lot of private roads that have still been cut off and people that we need to reach. So together with our partners, in the private sector and NGOs, we are reaching those areas, and we're assisting those people at the moment. There's also a lot of work happening in the city where there's a lot of localized flooding happening in some low-lying areas, and that's continuously since the flooding started about 2 weeks ago. That's a consistent activity that we're busy with. So not as serious as what it was reported, but we did react, with enough seriousness to be able to adapt to the situation as it developed.
And you were also telling me earlier that your team is also on alert, but let's talk about the warnings that you are giving to the residents of the Western Cape.
Yes, I think that although we don't have any serious warnings in the immediate couple of days, the ground is saturated. There's a lot of localized flooding and water still on roads. There's mud. These things take a lot of time to clear up. We had to focus on the very serious issues first. Our infrastructure department looked at, roads that were washed away, places that people could not reach. So those were our first and main priorities, and that's what they've been working on. But this is going to be a while before we get ourselves completely out of this, and that means that people are still going to encounter water on roads, the smallest rain showers that we get, wind that blows. There are buildings, temporary structures that could still be unstable. So people must really just be careful going through this period. The winter is a risky time. People love to go hiking, walking in mountains, that kind of stuff. They've got to realize that underfoot conditions are going to be a problem. And so for that reason, we're asking people to just be extra especially careful for this time of the year and for the situation we're finding ourselves in.
Certainly. And you also did mention that the team here has offered some assistance in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so we do have a rescue team that is able to carry out rescues in flood situations. We work together with a couple of partners. We have SARSA, the off-road rescue unit. We have Sea Rescue. Obviously, the City of Cape Town and all our district and municipal fire and emergency services contribute to this rescue team. Last year we assisted when there was a flood in KwaZulu-Natal. We were able to get a team up there in less than 24 hours. And we have also been in contact with KZN and informed them that if they do need our assistance and we're able to provide, we will release our resources to go and assist them.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Colin Dana from the Western Cape Disaster Management, talking about although the province does not have any serious warnings regarding the weather temperatures at this state, they are still saying that to the people they must be on the lookout, be on alert, especially in areas that were flooded, because it's going to take a while for the water to dry out.